In this video, I'm going to show you how I come up with some melodies for a song that I'm working on. But what I want to tell you with this video is actually this thing that I've discovered over the last few months about working with music. And that's how everything has gotten so much easier for me since I started to always make sure that I have something that I'm trying to learn, something specific that I'm trying to explore. Before, I always used to sit down and just try to come up with something. And I always ended up in this place where I didn't feel like it was good enough and I struggled to finish with it. But lately, I've realized that if I just give myself something specific to do, something that I haven't done before, it's really important that it's something new. Because then I need to learn something. Then it's not about making a great song, it's about learning that thing. It's about doing that specific thing. It's both that it gives me a manageable goal, and it's also not about reaching that goal greatly. It's just about learning something new in the process of getting there. So in this video, I'm going to show you just a few examples of how I do this with working with melodies. I give myself some different tasks for each melody that I write. What I wanted to do was to start with the melody before I put on any chords. The reason I want to write the melody before writing any chords at all or making anything else with the song is that I want to learn and I want to get deeper into the idea of working with one element at a time, working with just the melody, figuring out how I want just the melody to sound like, so that later when I add chords and all sorts of things, then I have a really strong fundament, a fundament of something that I'm really sure about, that I've worked really thoroughly with, and I've tried a lot of different options and I've come to this conclusion. I'm gonna try some different approaches to writing melodies for the different parts that I write. The first one, I actually started doing this and then the camera wasn't recording, so I had to restart everything. This is actually an exercise that I came up with for my student the other day, and when I did that, I got really excited to try it out myself. So the idea is that the melody is only allowed to move in half steps. So either stay the same note, go half a step down, or go half a step up again. No longer jumps than that. So another thing that I didn't mention, which is kind of a bit silly of me to bring up now, is that I decided to write this song in 5/4 because that's something that I've never done unless I wrote a jazz song like 10 years ago. But so it's 5 beats per bar. So instead of feeling it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it gets a little bit easier to hear it as a clave. And the one I do here is ba ba bum bum, short short long long, short short long long. Back in the days when I was a jazz pianist, I used to practice 5/4 a lot, but back then I feel like I only used to practice it the opposite way around. So instead of starting short short long 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 short short long long short short. So that's just an example of how I try to give myself a new territory, a new platform to work all the time. So all these melodies that I'm gonna write, in order to keep it as simple as possible, I'm gonna keep the melody aligned with the clave. So I'm gonna stick to the rhythm, ba ba bum bum, pretty much. So this note is gonna come here then, slower, da, 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 or like that. I like this the most. It's so nice. We only have 3 options. It makes it really easy to be creative when we don't have so many options to choose from. And we also already know the rhythm. So what we could do is to kind of take pauses on those beats instead of playing there. It's really nice just to limit our options like this. And I do feel like taking a pause on the first beat here, I think. Pause. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Or pause. Or the last option. What do I like the most? I think I like this. Oh, I want to go up, but I can't. I can only move here. So maybe. one can go pretty long notes and stretch over 2 hits. Or that's my favorites. Just a little note here. So when I make melodies and chord progressions and whatever, I try to make sure to, as much as possible, pretty much all the time, listen back to the whole thing every time I add a new note, just to make sure that I really hear the melody as a melody and give my ears time to hear where it wants to go. I don't like the F sharp. I kind of feel like this has to be like this. Ooh, I love that. I feel like he should just restart here. Maybe we'll make a variation. I think it's gonna go down. I want to go like. And here's the first melody finished. Okay, so we have one melody. Let's write another one. Short lunch break and then we're back. I feel like starting on an F because that's what we kind of led up to with that do 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 do. So we need a new challenge because the last one we used the chromatically only kind of thing. But we're gonna write the melody using only 2 notes. 2 notes. Yeah, 2 notes. And we're gonna start it on F. And are we still gonna stick to the grid of the clave like we did in the first one? Kind of. Maybe we'll deviate slightly. I like to keep it simple like that. And the reason I want to keep it simple rhythmically here is, just like I spoke in the beginning, I want to work with just one element at a time. And although rhythm is part of a melody, I just felt like it makes it more simple if I can only concentrate on the pitches and make sure I'm really happy with the pitches. This is our first note. We now need to find... Okay, this one will be long. So wait, can we move further than half step now or not? I think we can. Yeah, we can. So what I heard in my head was just this. No, that's boring. So let's try go down. Ooh. So now we have only the F and the C sharp to work with. I like the C sharp. So since we only have 2 notes to work with, we still have a lot of rhythmical options. That's why I think it's really interesting to just like work with the length of the notes as well. Maybe this one should be even shorter actually. This is something I never do, like write fast rhythms. And here's the second melody finished. So we have 2 melodies. We're going to write the third one. And in this one, I want to use another thing that I told my student to do actually the other day. That is to incorporate the tritone in the melody. So just try to explore the tritones as much as possible. It's an interval I don't use crazy much in my writing generally. So the tritone is 6 half steps. So if you're on a whatever D, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have a tritone. You could also call it like a sharp 4, flat 5. It's quite a harsh sound, so it can be a bit tricky to use, and that's where we're gonna do it. There's no specific rule we have to use it all the time or anything. We're just gonna try to do it kind of as much as possible. Dun, dun, dun. So maybe we should start with a B. I like that actually, just the sound of it. So B would be the tritone of F. We're gonna try to see what happens if you use the F here first. So the tritone from A will be D sharp. That's 6 half steps down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the third melody. Exciting! I found a lot of stuff just by using that tritone. We're gonna use the blues scale. That's something I never do when I write a melody. Only the notes from the blues scale and in F. So the blues scale is the 1, the minor third, the 4th, the tritone and the sharp 4, and the 5th and the 7th, minor 7th. But we shouldn't start with F, I think. Should we start on the 3rd beat this time? What note should we start on? Let's try all of them. Da. I like that most. Da, 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 da. So this is not the 3rd beat actually. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 3rd beat. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 That's what I totally feel like doing, but then I feel like not doing it because I feel like doing it so much. 4th melody. Short nap, 10 minutes, and then we're gonna continue. We're gonna write one more melody. We could try to make a melody where we don't have any rule. So let's find the starting notes. I'm trying to actually listen, like feel what notes I actually make something emotionally happen to me. I think it's about our emotions. So okay, it's C sharp. I do kind of feel like trying, because now all of the melodies are 4 bars. So I want to try what happens if I don't make it 4 bars this time, but rather 3 bars. So I actually repeat this thing here. 5th melody finished. So when you don't know what to do, if you're stuck and if you're not stuck, basically all the time, brainstorm some ways to work that you've never done before. So you can make use of music theory to restrict yourself, like with the blues scale or a certain interval. It can be only short notes, only long notes, minimum 100 notes, or only one note, only the black keys, every second note. I'm trying to come up with examples here, but I think you get the point. I think we have to realize that it doesn't feel comfortable to do these things. Like, it's not necessarily a nice feeling when you need to write a melody with a tritone in it. Like, it sucks. You feel like you can't make it work, but you just gotta do it anyway, because you're gonna explore and you're gonna figure something out, something new out, and you will learn that it's not about having a great feeling, it's about having a feeling and reacting to that feeling. You can't always be like super nice. We need to put ourselves in some new situations so we have something interesting to react to. So just take a piece of paper and write down 10 ways that you've never written a melody before. I mean, you can think of it as rules, but I would also not think about it as rules necessarily. Sometimes I like thinking about it more like it's just an exercise. So I'm gonna make more videos like this, talking about what is exciting for me when I make music. So subscribe if you want more of that. Goodbye.